First of all, as I'm putting my glasses, I had cataract surgery on this eye this week, and this one 2 weeks ago, so I can't really see that well.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're supposed to be able to see perfectly.
He said his
we'll be still on topic.
First call.
with a girl with this thing.
Who asked this question?
Doesn't
We don't
matter.
tell you.
Actually, Jim Booth.
Vanna White.
Yeah, Vanna.
First call. Question Model A, and somebody doesn't know that there's an L on Model A.
You're no critiquing, no
Who was
critiquing.
that? 2 minutes. Ding,
What's
ding.
the question?
Clock's ticking.
First
What's the
call.
question, Gramps?
My first car was a 1947 Ford that my dad and I went back to Michigan. My grandmother sold her house where I spent all my summers, and
Neat.
he bought this car new back there, brought it back to LA. I was just going to college. I had wanted to buy a car in high school. My dad,
But Connor, what's that?
I had
I've
some
never heard of
money, and my dad wouldn't approve any car that I liked.
Why?
He was a mechanic, he just wouldn't approve them. So he gave me this car a year later because he didn't like it.
How much was it worth?
Pete, does that
How
sound
much was it
familiar?
worth?
Yeah, that question was from me. Thank you.
How much was the car worth? Like,
Well, we're
how
talking
much did
about
the car cost back then?
1947, he gave it to me in
2000.
48.
Yeah.
So a Ford, kind of an ugly hearse, it was a big
Covered.
battleship gray.
What do you
Sedan?
think? What do you think Grandpa paid for it?
Well, the
1,000?
cars that I was interested in
500.
buying were like 500 or 600, so this is
Wow.
maybe a little more.
That's why you never
Because I was
approved our
looking at
cars.
used cars.
Wow.
That's a good question.
Okay, you
question.
can just throw that off to the
Cheers!
side.
Cheers! Cheers!
Next question.
That was,
good.
that was for you, Peter?
Done with that.
What's that?
That was your question? This one's upside down.
Then turn it over,
Somebody's
Gramps.
drunk.
You let her stand on your head. You're
Yeah, stand
Yeah,
on
stand on
your.
your head and read it.
All right, I can't. All right. Tell us about your first job. Well, my first job would have been at the age of about 9 or 10,
What?
mowing lawns, weeding gardens, and babysitting. All those things.
Babysitting?
You had to mow lawns?
Babysitting with like a neighbor's kid who was
I
like
thought you
3 or
hated
4.
kids.
No wonder he hates
And then just in the neighborhood, just doing that. Those are my first. My first actual paying job. I was in high school, and my mother said, "It's about time you got a job," very politely. And so I went to work in San Diego for Army Navy YMCA, and I was a desk clerk gopher, waking people up, setting up projectors, just doing whatever needed to be done. But it was just the end of World War II, and mainly it had 6 floors that they rented rooms. They had ballroom dance, the USO, and all that. And we were selling tickets to cots to vacant buildings, because there'd be hundreds, if not thousands of people, service guys, mostly Navy or Marine Corps, looking for beds. That was
So
my
what
first
did you
job.
do?
And also answering the switchboard during the break of the switchboard operator. And that's the days like,
Call each other.
who's the lady that did
Oh,
all
like on
The operator.
The red
like
and blue,
on,
red and
on
black
Lassie,
things.
where there's all different
I can't
people.
think of
Yeah.
the
Where- the,
The
fu-
switchboard.
the funny
The dog
thing-
that died 50
the
years ago.
switchboard, but where you plug it in, you plug this in.
Yeah,
and
talk to another person.
all those
Billy
kinds of
Thomas.
things.
So you know how to run a switchboard?
So that was my job
that
through high
fire.
school until I went to college.
Why don't you tell people, I know it's not in here, what job you had in college, because a lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that until recently.
Do people work in college?
No.
You apparently did.
Yeah, I've told a couple people about what you did in college.
Well, actually, when I was in school, I didn't work. But in the summers, I worked at a Chevron station one summer. Yes. Which was getting like Kayla would appreciate that, where I had the odd shift that would give you, this is what you're doing next week.
Yeah.
You get off at midnight and be back at 6 in the morning, kind of stuff. I worked for a used car lot where I didn't sell cars, but I consigned cars. I'd read the newspapers, go talk to the people and get them to consign their car to the lot so we could sell it. And I worked in construction in a very peon job, pulling nails out of boards, digging ditches, stuff like that.
I was thinking about the piano bar one.
No, I wanted to do that, but I didn't.
I thought you did. You played piano
No,
at that place in Palo Alto.
no.
It was a dream.
Liz King.
That was good years.
Liz King did that. No, I,
No
never-
wonder you didn't know about it, Mom. It wasn't real.
I just played piano for fun.
Years later, the secretary.
I told you that, but that's not true.
I know I've heard about it.